All right, here we go with phase 3 of the 12-week plan. It's gonna be 3 weeks of 5 days each week. We hope you're ready, because this one is gonna kick your ass, and ours too, as we go along through this video. Remember, we got the PDF of the 12-week plan in the description, so if at any point you need to follow along, feel free and download that. It's got nutrition, cardio, a frequently asked questions, everything you need to follow along with this 12-week plan. All right, enough talking, let's get to it with day 1.
Starting off, day 1, it's gonna be quads, calves, and abs. First exercise on the list, of course, is gonna be squats, the number 1 leg exercise you always wanna include in any program. It's gonna be 4 sets of 15 reps, supersetted directly with twisting lunges, which is gonna be 4 sets of 10 reps each leg.
As we said before in the last phase, and if any point you feel like a phase is way too much work for you, you're getting exhausted, you don't feel like you're able to complete it properly, feel free to extend any phase longer than we specify. For instance, phase 2, each phase lasts 3 weeks. Feel free to extend it to 6 weeks if you want before moving on to this phase, phase 3. Pistol box squats. It's gonna be 3 sets, 15 reps. This is a unilateral exercise, so you're really trying to key in on any muscular imbalances, especially in strength in the legs, because usually you're doing a lot of bilateral movements like squats, big compound movements, so your dominant side could be pushing a little bit more. This is a good way to kind of key in on those and fix them. A lot harder than it looks, even with your own body weight. Single leg hip extension, you're gonna be elevated on the bench or camping cooler if you don't have a bench. And this is good because it's going to be increasing the range of motion through this hip extension, because you're going to be going below parallel and then extending the hip up, getting a nice squeeze in the glutes. And it's a unilateral exercise, so you're concentrating on one leg and then switching to the next. It's going to be 4 sets of 10 repetitions. And this is going to be supersetted with the goblet squat, which is an amazing exercise. And it's usually done with a kettlebell, but you can just grab a dumbbell and it's going to be held right in front of you. And you're going to be squatting down just like you would in normal squats, putting a little bit more pressure on the interior part of the body, a little bit more on the quads, but it is a very comfortable exercise and kind of gets you used to that squatting position. And it can even be used to teach a lot of people how to squat properly, because it's a little bit more comfortable than a back squat. So we're going to be introducing this in, supersetted with the single leg hip extensions, and with the goblet squats, it's going to be 4 sets of 15 reps. God damn, the supersets, they definitely kick your ass. But after you're done, feels good. 1 step closer, baby. Yeah. Single leg calf raises, 3 sets of 15. We're just using a dumbbell in one hand, and I'm propping our other against the wall for stability. As you can see, we're using 2 plates. What it's gonna do is give us a little bit more stretch in that calf and a better range of motion. Ab roller wheel, like our little do-it-yourself one we built. You can also purchase one, they're only about 10 bucks. 3 sets, 20 reps. And if you experience a little bit of discomfort in your knees because you are pressing up against them, if you're doing this on hardwood, for example, it might hurt a little bit, just feel free to put a towel or a pad of some sort. It'll take care of that issue right away.
Conan has the wheel of pain, and the buff dudes have the ab roller wheel of pain.
Made out of a lawnmower part. Pretty hardcore, huh?
Otis ups, 3 sets, 20 reps. As you'll notice, you really want to roll the back up into position. If you just try to flex the hips and keeping your back straight, it's going to put a lot of pressure on that lower back. So make sure you flex the spine and roll the back upward to the top position. It might be a little hard sometimes too if you don't have anything to anchor your feet. So if you're having trouble doing this exercise, make sure to anchor those feet so it'll make it a lot easier. But if you want to make it harder, don't anchor the feet.
Where's my hat? Gotta have my lucky hat. When I turn it backwards, it means it's serious business. Over the top style. Over the top style. But we're always over the top. That's why the baseball cap's always flipped backwards. All right, day 2 of phase 3. We hope you survived that leg day. It was pretty intense, but we're gonna get started on one of our favorite days, and that's gonna be chest and back. Let's do it.
Today we're gonna be doing the commando row, supersetted with pull-ups. Here we go. My name is John Matrix, and I'm about to become a buff dude. This is a fantastic exercise for the back. Get in the plank position with a really wide stance, and you pull through the lats, bringing your elbows up, alternating. Try to keep your hips flat through the motion, and now we're gonna be doing some pull-ups. Now that you've completed the superset, let off around 60 to 90 seconds of steam, buff dudes and girls. Yeah. Assisted single arm push-ups. It's gonna be 4 sets of 10 reps each side. You're gonna be using the medicine ball in this one to help assist you through the lift. So one arm is going to be supported outside the body by the medicine ball. So you're gonna be slightly supporting your weight as you're pushing with the other arm. And then you can switch over once you complete the 10 repetitions into the next arm. And then you're gonna be supersetting it with barbell bench press. 4 sets, 12 reps.
T-bar row supersetted with pullovers. As you may notice, the weight is a little bit lighter on the pullovers. That's because, seeing as this is a home gym, we don't have as much weight available to use. But the great thing is, we're already burning ourselves out on T-bar row, so the 50 pounds feels a little heavier than it normally would. Both those exercises are gonna be 4 sets of 12 reps apiece.
Incline dumbbell press. You're gonna be starting wide. You're gonna be bringing the dumbbells inward, touching them together, and then pressing once again, but with a close grip press. So you get a nice stretch on the wide angle, bring them together and get a nice squeeze in the inner chest as well. And we just laid a medicine ball against the wall to mimic an incline bench. But if it's uncomfortable for you, you can always get like a 2x4 and just lay it against the wall on the diagonal, so that way you can also mimic an incline bench. We're doing 4 sets of 15 reps on that one. And we're moving on to and supersetting with the body weight flies. And we just grabbed 2 barbells and put some 10s on there, and you can glide it along the floor and get a nice body weight fly. But if you don't have 2 barbells, what you can do is use dumbbells if they're rounded, and it gets that same kind of motion. Or if you don't have any of that, you can actually just get 2 claws if you have a hardwood floor and have slide your hands across the floor mimicking a fly. And if you don't want to do any of that, there's also another alternative, which is just lay on a flat bench and just do regular dumbbell flies. And that's going to be 4 sets of 10 reps. Phase 3, day 3, shoulders, traps, and abs. Hopefully you buff dudes and girls are ready. It's perfect timing too, because we just got our brand new Buff Dudes tank tops, and we want to make sure we look damn good in them. So we're gonna hit this workout hard.
Getting this workout started with the parallel bar pike press. 4 sets, 10 reps, and we're putting those DIY parallel bars to use once again.
Alternating Arnold press is going to be 4 sets of 12 repetitions each side, and it's going to be supersetted with band pull-aparts, 4 sets with 15 reps. With the band pull-aparts, what you want to do is really squeeze those shoulders back with the arms straight in front of you, gripping the band shoulder width apart, and be pulling from the rear deltoids and the traps all the way to the back position, pulling the arms apart and getting a nice squeeze, and then slowly letting it down to the starting position, which is going to be right in front of you. This is a great exercise to really work those posterior delts and also the traps. We do use these in the mobility exercises as well, but we really just want to concentrate on building those posterior muscles up to really help stabilize the shoulder joint, because you really can't strengthen those enough, especially when you're pressing really heavy weights with overhead presses, bench press, pull-ups, where the shoulder is getting so much work throughout this whole program. So that's what this is for, is really trying to stabilize and make sure that shoulder joint is always safe. What we're doing with the reverse unilateral dumbbell flies, bent over dumbbell flies, is going to be concentrating on one side and then the next, because what we're doing is really trying to work both bilateral movements and unilateral movements to work out any kind of imbalances and strength issues, either in the dominant side or the weak side. So as you can tell, the phase before this, we're doing bilateral reverse flies. We're moving on to unilateral, tying it up right with the face pulls. So we're supersetting those posterior muscle groups back to back. Make sure you hit those hard.
Dumbbell shrugs, 3 sets, 15 reps. That's gonna be supersetted with the farmer's walk till failure. We got a little gym, so as you can see, not a lot of space, but we're just gonna rep that out until we can't do it anymore. And we have 50-pound dumbbells, which isn't a lot of weight, so we can do the farmer's walk once again for quite a period of time, but hey, it's a great active rest, a little bit of cardio, and it's gonna burn like hell.
What you gotta remember with this is any ab exercise, you never wanna keep the spine straight because it puts unnecessary pressure on that lower back. So you wanna make sure you flex it. It's gonna get more contraction in the abs and it's also gonna save your lower back. So flex the spine upwards, crunching in with the knees, and the pressure at the top position can be placed on the upper back, and then return it back to the starting position with legs straight. Reverse crunches. 3 by 20.
All right, time to work on that stabilization core and obliques with the windmill. It's gonna be 3 sets of 15 reps each side. All right, day 3 of phase 3 is wrapped up and in the books. Good job, dudes and girls, you did it. Or you just watched us do it from your computer and you're not gonna do it. In that case, I hope this video was entertaining for all of you.
Reverse grip floor press, 4 sets, 15 reps. It's gonna be supersetted with bent over reverse grip rows. So this is gonna be 2 major compound movements that is targeting triceps, and then supersetted right into a major compound movement that is trying to target the biceps due to the underhand on both of them. What you wanna do on the floor press is really focus on the squeeze at the top position, contracting the triceps, and then slowly letting it down to the bottom position so your upper arms touch the floor. And with the bent over rows, you really want to focus on slightly stretched down position on the biceps and pulling with the biceps at the top position, getting a nice squeeze, and then slowly letting it down to the bottom position. So now that those are done, we're gonna be moving on to some isolation exercises.
Barbell skull crusher, 3 sets, 12 reps, supersetted with the arm blaster. 3 sets, 12 reps. Skull crushers and arm blasters, that sounds like a pretty gnarly combination. And it is too, it's gonna build those guns and turn you into a buff dude or girl. Hell yeah. Tricep dips using the parallel bar and a bench. It's gonna be 3 sets, 15 reps. You're really gonna wanna focus on the top position, that lockout, or squeezing your triceps as hard as you can. Hammer curls. Buff dude's favorite arm exercise, 3 sets, 12 reps.
Behind the back wrist curls. This is really hitting the flexors and the forearms. Roll it all the way down to the fingers, the tips of the fingers, and then bring it all the way up to a nice squeeze. The top position is gonna be 3 sets of 15 reps.
We're wrapping up this wrist roller and we're about to wrap up day 4 as well. What you're gonna wanna do is 3 sets of this with 2 complete rolls per set. It's gonna burn out those forearms and prepare you for day 5. Get some rest, dudes and girls. It's only gonna get tougher from here on out.
We're starting off with some kettlebell swings, but in our case, we don't have a kettlebell, so we are switching it up into a dumbbell swing, which we would suggest you do the same if you don't have any kettlebells at your home gym. What you want to do with this exercise is stand about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider with the feet. You want to grab the dumbbell, and instead of squatting down, instead of bending in the knees to help swing the dumbbell up, is what you want to do is pivot back in the hips, bending back in the hips like almost like a squat, like you're starting a squat sitting back in a chair, and then you're going to be thrusting the hips forward, creating that momentum to get that dumbbell just about parallel to the floor, and then it's gonna come back down and you're gonna absorb the weight with the hips, pushing them back with the knees slightly bent, and then again you're gonna be thrusting the hips forward to create that momentum with a nice explosive contraction in those muscles. It's gonna be 4 sets of 15 reps.
And we're supersetting that one with manual hamstring curl. It's gonna be 4 sets of 10 reps. baby. Half naked men coming to you in 3D. It's a badass exercise. If you haven't tried that one out for sure, we love it. Romanian deadlifts, 4 sets of 12 reps. This is one of our favorite hamstring exercises because it helps isolate the hamstring. Also, if at any point you'd like a little bit more of a description on any of these exercises, feel free to check the description of the video because we have tutorials for exercises such as the Romanian deadlift.
I'm a buff dude ballerina. Single leg RDLs. Ugh. You might feel stupid doing them, but damn, they work. So what you want to do with this is a single leg RDL. We just did the bilateral RDLs or Romanian deadlifts, and now we're doing a unilateral RDL or single leg Romanian deadlift. What you want to remember is to pick a spot on the floor and keep a nice neutral chin, so that way when you're bringing that weight down, it's going to help with balance, because sometimes when you look straight ahead, it's going to disorientate you because you don't really have any focal point. So when you look straight down, it's going to keep the chin level, but it's also going to give you a spot to constantly maintain as you're performing this exercise. It's really going to help with balance. Also, it's going to be really working on the ankle stabilization throughout the movement, which is always a good thing because those ankles need to stay mobile, but they also need to be stabilized so you don't get any improper strains when you go running, or for you girls when you wear high heels.
3 sets, 15 reps for the donkey calf raises. Standing calf raise, 3 sets of 20 reps. Those ones after doing donkey calf raises are sure to burn those calves out, but that's good because you want them nice and buff. Get that stopwatch ready because we're doing 3 sets of 30 seconds on mountain climbers, supersetted with 3 sets of 30 seconds on planks. Gotta be honest, this is probably one of our most exciting exercises to show in these videos. I mean, who couldn't get enough of watching a guy planking for 30 seconds?
He was a man at the end of his rope. His only option was to plank. People fear him. Women desired him. All he had was one thing on his mind: to plank for 30 straight seconds. And done.
But I still got 2 more sets to go, so we're gonna do it. Mountain climbers and planks. Here we go, sets 2 and 3. All right, that wraps up the end of phase 3. And prepare yourselves, because coming up next is phase 4. That's gonna be the hardest. 6 days a week for 3 straight weeks. So get ready, get rested up, because we're coming back with our hardest phase yet. And remember, YouTube has an awesome new fan funding option, so if you'd like to show some support, please feel free. And if not, that's totally cool because we're gonna keep bringing you these videos.
All right, buff dudes and girls, we will see you at phase 4.
Stay buff. Yeah.